Okay guys, we're back for week number 3. This week's going to start out with finding slopes of lines. We have 3 ways to find the slope of a line today. Then after today we're going to talk about writing equations of lines. So the first thing is finding the slope of a line. There's going to be 3 ways. There is going to be find the slope of a line if you're given a picture, a slope of the line if you're given ordered pairs, and slope of a line if you're given an equation. So I'm going to go through a bunch of examples here. Hopefully you've seen this before at some point in the last year or so, and we'll see how you do. First, I just went to Google. I found a whole bunch of lines here. I'm going to zoom in on some. So what you're going to see a lot on ACTs, SATs, tests, whatever, is they're going to give you a graph. And you got to find the slope of a line. At some point, hopefully you learn something called rise over run. And that's basically what we're going to be doing. So one of the formulas you'll see for slope of a line is rise over run. Most of you probably heard of that before. So let's go back to our picture. Let's zoom in on this first one. Hopefully you can see that okay. When you're given a graph like this, like I said, it could be an ACT, SAT, whatever. You're going to find yourself a couple nice points on this graph. Now, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like there's a nice point about here. When I say a nice point, you want a point where the line hits the grid. So here's a good point, and maybe we'll go over to this one. This one's over 6 and up 8. So probably about here. So what you do is you find yourself a couple nice points, and then you simply count the rise and count the run. The rise is the up and down. Like if you're sitting down and you rise, you're standing up. So when I start here, the rise would be 1. Do not count this as 1. This is 0. So here's 1, 2, 3. So the rise here is 3. So it went up 3. 1, 2, 3. So the rise is 3. The run is your left and right. You can start here and go over, start here and go over, no matter. I just need to know how many places it is from here to here. So I'll do that in orange. So the run is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the slope of that line is 3/4. Now, you also got to determine, is your slope positive or negative? What I always tell people is, think of a book. You read a book from left to right. Put a bike. I'm not an artist. Can't really draw a bike, but I'll try to draw something that looks like a bike. So you put a bike at the left of the line, because you read a book from left to right. If you put a bike here, if your bike's going to be going uphill, the slope is positive. If your bike's going to be going downhill, the slope is negative. As dumb as that sounds, it works. So put your bike or your skateboard or your sled or whatever you want on the left, and uphill means positive, downhill means negative. So this particular line has a slope of positive 3/4. Let's do another one. Let's say, might as well take this one right beside it. I'll zoom in a little bit more. I'm going to find a couple good points. Now you got to be careful on this one. This one's going up by 2s. So let's just say we take maybe this point here. This point is back 4, down 4. And then maybe, let's do this point here, over 2, up 8. So when we do the rise, we'll figure out how far it is going up and down from here to here. And you got to be careful, we're going by 2s. So we're going to be going, let me color code it again, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So the rise is 12. The run, your left and right. So each of these is also 2. 2, 4, 6. So we got a slope of 12 over 6. You always want to reduce. In this case, 12 over 6 reduces nicely because 12 over 6 is simply 2. So the slope of this line is 2. Now, is it positive or negative? Well, we know it's going to be positive because from the last example, but like I said, put your bike, your skateboard, whatever you want to do here. And would your bike be going uphill or downhill? Your bike would have to be going uphill. So the slope is positive 2. Now, if you understand slope, if you think about it, here, you could have put a dot here and here. It'd be up 2 over 1, so slope is 2, 2 over 1 that way. But it's easy just to go and find 2 nice points. Let's find what's going downhill. Here's a nice one. This one even has the dots for you. You do not have to do the dots they picked. You can pick your own dots. So in this case, the rise, you can go from here to here or from here to here, don't matter. So for me, I'm just going to do here. So the rise between these two is 2. So you go here to here, here to here. Either way, it's 2 boxes. So the rise is 2. And the run is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2/5. So the slope of that line is 2/5. And if you use the little bike method again, your bike would actually be going downhill this time. So if the line is going downhill, it is negative. So that is how you find the slope of a line when you're given the picture. In a second, we'll get into the ones that are a little bit harder.